is up, YouTube? I am heading over to a friend's house. He wanted to go for a ride. He's fairly new, back to riding. Used to ride a long time ago, quit. Now he's back at it, so he wants to ride together. He's got less experience, so I'll probably have him up front so he can set the pace for the ride. But he's another Harley owner, also a Dyna owner. So I've got the Street Bob, he's got the Wide Glide. So I did. This is really kind of a test flight. I figured out a few things through trial and error. So I couldn't figure out how to get my videos into full screen, like full screen. I had it on ultra wide angle lens, and I know I had it set at 1080p at one point. Somehow it dropped down to 960 on its own. I don't know what the hell happened, honestly. So it dropped down to 960. So I fixed that, set it to 1080, put the field of view back on wide, so you should be able to see everything a lot better now. And I figured out how to upload it to YouTube and get it to actual 1080p quality. And you'll probably notice in this video the audio quality is much better than it was before. I switched from the mic that came with my 3.5 to mini USB connector, the adapter. I switched to the Sony ECMCS3, I think it is. It's a little bi-directional mic. You'll see there's a lot of motovloggers that use them, and just people in general. It's a pretty popular item. So, and I see why now. I put the dead cat on it. I made the dead cat. I used EM187. Put a video out there on how to make one. So I did basically the same thing, a little different tape, a little different fabric, but essentially the same thing. Wrap that thing up. The other thing I changed was in my helmet, there's two little mesh vents in the front. One runs along the left and the right. I've got the Icon Airframe Pro, and it is great for airflow. I mean, you got the two like cheek ones that run around the base of your face and your skull. You got two on the forehead that kind of run past your temples. I'm in the one dead center that runs over the top shell of the helmet. So great ventilation. But the only place to stuff a mic in here that's still somewhat hearable is to push it into the little slats on the inside and left and right side of your mouth that have openings for that mesh vent. So I taped off the left side vent. It's kind of a ghetto job, you can see right there, for now, and then I'll do something more permanent later. Actually, I want to see how the audio sounds like on this, and then I'm going to test it without the tape, and if it still sounds pretty good, I'll probably take the tape off and just run it the way it is. So hopefully I'm giving you much better quality video now, and much better quality audio, which is what I was kind of shooting for. And obviously I've got a ton of work to do to figure out editing skills. Speaking of editing, I'm looking to see, so right now I use the GoPro Quick and the GoPro editing software, the Studio, just to dick around with. What else do you guys know what's out there that is I will say best value for the money? If there's a really good free one, great, but I mean, if there's for pay ones, what's probably overall the best balance between quality and budget friendly? I would like to learn a lot more about editing. I've been researching a lot more videos and stuff, mostly because I just want to get better at it. You know, I like doing this. Obviously, I do it for myself more than anything, to kind of document all my trips. I mean, this is stuff I can share with my kids when they're older. But obviously, the better I can get at editing this stuff and shooting videos, it's going to be useful in a lot of areas. So if you guys know some software that's really good for video editing, whether it's free or somewhat budget friendly, but has good tools and is a good quality software, please shoot me a comment and let me know. So I did the Road Glide review riding the Street Bob. If you guys haven't seen that, go ahead and check that out. so I just rode around kind of talking through the pros and cons of it, in particular compared to the Street Glide. So if you're considering both, I think they're both great bikes. They both have definitely some pros and cons for and against them either way. And you know, obviously any review is subjective, right, to your own experiences and your own perspective. Me, I guess a little bit body type wise, I'm about 6'2", 245 pounds, so I'm a fairly bigger guy, and that determined a lot of my decision on the Road Glide and why I like forward pegs rather than mid. I have no idea how guys over 6 foot ride with mid controls. If you like it and it's comfortable, great, more power to you. I just can't fucking do it. It feels like I'm the ape on Mario Kart trying to cram myself over top of 2 wheels and, you know, fuck the motorcycle. It's just not comfortable for me at all. I've never ridden a true all-out sport bike with really kind of the rear set mid controls. I'm curious to see what that would be like. As long as I could stretch out a little bit, I'd be okay, but damn, mid controls with my knees up into my chest is definitely not ideal. So some videos, I'm gonna do a review on my phone mount here. It's this Car. It's a fairly cheap option off of Amazon. I was looking at getting a RAM mount because those seem to be the most popular and the most recommended. I'm sure they're great, but they also cost a shit ton of money for what it is. A couple things I definitely liked about this one so far. It's got a crow's foot type clamp, so there's 2 prongs on the top, 1 on the bottom. It's like a claw, but it's a nice rubberized inside and won't scratch up your bars, anything like that. It's not going to leave permanent marks on your bars from cranking it down over time. The other thing I liked is it had about the narrowest footprint for where it attaches to the bar, which is important if you've got chiseled apes, especially like mine. You can see there's not a lot of choices where to mount that thing if you want it mounted to a flat surface. You know, I had nothing over here because of the brake master cylinder, and I had about a 2-inch window over here, so it had about the narrowest window to attach without having to put it, like, you know, magnetically mounted on my tank or without trying to slide it next to a riser. So it was a good option for me. Obviously other people may feel differently about it, but I'll go over that more in detail, pros, cons, whatnot. My street Bobby here is going to be due for its 1,000-mile service here before too long, which is the first break-in service. If you guys haven't done these yourself, or, well, whether you do them yourself or whether you do them at your dealer, if you're doing it at a dealer, make sure it's one you trust, to make sure that they're doing all of the checks and not just charging you the high-ass money for it. There's a lot of important ones. I can speak for Harley in particular, but there's a lot of critical torque values in there that need to be checked, especially after that first 1,000 miles, because that, you know, really that's the first post-factory inspection. So you got to check that out, make sure you know what the hell's going on with your bike, and make sure that everything's good to go. I can tell you in the 1,000-mile service on my Road Glide, the rear axle nut was just slightly over finger tight, and I think I talked about this in a previous video, but you know, that's one, obviously that could have been fucking disaster. So I'm glad that was checked out. So I got the 1,000-mile service coming up on this one. I will be having the shop do it because of the lifetime warranty that I talked about before on this bike. And then I'm hoping to I'm looking to find some more demo days coming up so I can get some reviews on other bikes. I've been kind of really interested lately in Triumphs, like, you know, some of the old school ones, and also some of the kind of like sport, you know, touring adventure bikes, like some of the bigger Tiger models. I would love to ride one of those things. To me, they look cool as hell. And I also want to try at one point, you know, a true sport bike is one bike I've never ridden. I've ridden naked bikes, you know, the kind of retro bikes, Harleys, and Japanese cruisers to like sport touring kind of, but not a full-on sport bike. It's probably a dangerous thing for me because I love going fast. I'm like Ricky Bobby, so that's the one reason I never bought a sport bike, because I always felt like being able to have that much acceleration at my fingertips could be a bad thing. And you know, maybe it wouldn't be. Maybe I wouldn't kill myself. Cars, motorcycles, shit like that. So I'm not really worried about me killing myself as that. It's more if I did get into an accident, I'd be going way too fast, and I'd probably get way too many tickets in the process. So we're going to try to avoid that. So but I would like to test ride him. I think it'd be pretty cool. I'm not sure where we're going to go on a ride today. If he's down for, you know, riding together with me and being on YouTube, then we'll probably, that's a pretty cool vintage bike, and then we'll probably you'll catch some film of us together. If he's not, or if he's cool with it, I may blur out his face or whatever. It'll be kind of up to him. So we'll go for a ride. I'm not sure where he wants to go. He's also from up north with me, so we're both new to this area, but he's been down here a couple years longer than I have, so he knows some more roads and shit. It'll probably be good to have him lead, because he may know some cool spots that I haven't experienced yet. There is definitely, I'm gonna have a ride coming up here pretty soon where I'm gonna go a little deeper into the city, into Raleigh and some of the surrounding burbs, just because there's some really cool twisties in there. The only danger is going to be they're twisties that I'm going to want to drive fast on because they're clean, smooth blacktops, well maintained, and then, you know, really winding through trees. But there are also ones with fairly low speed limits, so I don't want to get myself in trouble, but it may have to happen. I don't know if I'm going to be able to resist at least dumping some throttle in there. So we'll see what shakes out there, but I definitely, I'm looking to do some channel art too, so I want to try to look up, you know, kind of the best places for Raleigh city skyline shot. If you're from the area, hit me up with a message or something, man. Let me know, because I'm looking to see a place that I can, you know, get kind of a skyline shot, because it really is a beautiful area, especially if I can get a good shot like just before dark. And some deep dark pictures, you know, on maybe like a quarter moon or something where the city lights really shine. It'd be pretty cool. You see just about everywhere here, and granted the job market here is just insane. Like it's booming. This city's growing extremely quick, but I'm actually looking to do the opposite. I live in one of these suburban hellhole developments now. It's a brand new house, nice house. I had no complaints in that regard, but I hate having neighbors fucking 10 feet away from me. It's never been my thing. And it's weird because I grew up in a, not one of these, fuck, this road's got gravel all over it. That should be fucking fun. God damn it. Alright, so we'll take it nice and easy on this road. But I grew up in a neighborhood, but an old, I will say an older school neighborhood where, you know, your houses were still a good distance from each other, and there were a lot of kids my age, stuff like that. So that part I really liked. But I am looking to get out in the country. Just before I moved down here, I bought a couple acres of land and I was getting ready to slap a house on. But I'm looking even bigger than that. I'm trying to find, like, I'm looking at a couple properties now that are fairly cheap, but 10 plus acres, just chock full of timber, and I'll let a logging company take the wood for free and just cut a little path back there, a winding driveway, and then cut out about 2 acres right in the middle of that timber, and have my own little chunk of heaven. Because I don't want, like, you can see what's getting ready to happen here. They're far apart right now, but I guarantee you those things are going to be fucking 10 feet apart by the time everybody's done building. So this road didn't used to have any gravel on it, and now all of a sudden this thing's got, looks like they sprayed some kind of fucking pea gravel on it because they were too cheap to repave it. So this is not a gravel road, it's a blacktop road. But once in a while, when cities get cheap, they do this type of shit to the road. Where are you going, buddy? Huh?
I didn't even know that thing.
I don't even know where the fuck I'm at. So he'll get more comfortable with his bike over time. It's a bit slow for my pace, but it's also a gorgeous day for a ride. And I'm okay with that. I need to get another battery for my GoPro, or multiple batteries. That's the one thing. I seem to be killing batteries like crazy. I think this being a Hero 3 plus silver, and buying it when I did and still being a new item, I'm guessing the batteries are somewhat drained out of the box, so. You know where you're at?
I have no idea where I'm at.
Okay, we're in Angier, right?
Yeah.
So we just
I think this road.
so we just got to find 210, really.
Huh?
So we just got to find 210.
55's right there.
Okay, so oh wait, if that's 55, we just got to, if we take that one direction or the other, it's going to take us to 210.
Well, it's just, I want to just go through the back.
Okay, I'm good.
I don't know where we're at, but we can get home probably.
I got GPS. We'll make it. Duck. Nice little lake here. Man, it's I'm not used to getting this damn hot this early in the year. So I moved down here last August, at the end of August, start of September. I mean, man, we were already seeing 90-degree days in April, you know, early April. It's getting towards the end of May now, Memorial Day weekend. Fuck, it's been 95 degrees like 2 days in a row. Alright, what is up, YouTube? Back. This is my buddy in front of me here on the wide glide. Just out for a little cruise. He's going to lead the way, let him set the pace. He's only got about 300 miles on that bike. Before that, it's been 5-6 years since he rode, so wanted him to be comfortable. If you're an experienced rider and you ride with new guys, I encourage you to put them in the front and don't make them feel the silent peer pressure of doing a bunch of dumb shit, so they feel like to be cool they need to keep up, because that's how a lot of new riders get hurt. They're riding outside of their skill level, and somebody gets hurt. So be safe out there. I'm gonna try to ride staggered with him. Looks like he's taking the inside track, so. And you seen before I took a little break there, we were hitting a lot of gravel, so we're gonna try to hit some roads that don't have any of that bullshit on them, because ain't nobody got time for that. We're pretty close to Fuquay, Varina, small town, about 30 minutes, 40 minutes outside of Raleigh. Really nice city. These fucking Harley Davidson gloves, they use about the best leather I've ever felt on a motorcycle glove. Overall, they're built really well. They've been really durable, except for the damn Velcro on them. Hasn't held up for the shit. As you can see, I can barely keep them strapped. They flop off all the time. Oh yeah, we're back on loose gravel again. What the hell? So apparently this shit is everywhere, and it's going to be unavoidable for us. gonna leave a foot semi down just in case, because you never know. Loose gravel and motorcycle, two things you don't really want to hear together, right? So that was one of my complaints about Harley's GPS system when I had the Road Glide. The multiple times the GPS system tried to take me down fucking gravel roads when we were out in the country and trying to navigate somewhere. You know, if any GPS system should keep you off of gravel roads, I would think a Harley Davidson branded GPS that's attached to the bike would be the one, right? Maybe that's a ridiculous request, but I certainly don't want to take my $25,000 bike down gravel. So they got a lot of work to do there. Harley hasn't given, you know, nearly the value they should be to their customers. The price keeps going up, but what you're getting for the money doesn't. So they still make really solid engines, transmissions, but you know, a lot of the little creature features, to get them you're paying a lot more now, and some of them just aren't as high a quality as they should be. So that's the one really good thing about Indian, you know, being back around. And I think this time Indian finally did it right. They could still die again, obviously, but they've got a much better chance of surviving because they've got a much better lineup, very well built bikes. They've been reviewed extremely well from anybody that's owned them, or most of the people I know that have owned them. So there's lots of positives there. Where you going, buddy?
That went here.
Huh?
I didn't even know that thing.
I don't even know where the fuck I'm at. So he'll get more comfortable with his bike over time. It's a bit slow for my pace, but it's also a gorgeous day for a ride. And I'm okay with that. I need to get another battery for my GoPro, or multiple batteries. That's the one thing. I seem to be killing batteries like crazy. I think this being a Hero 3 plus silver, and buying it when I did, and still being a new item, I'm guessing the batteries are somewhat drained out of the box, so. You know where you're at?
I have no idea where I'm at.
Okay, we're in Angier, right?
Yeah.
So we just
I think this road.
So we just got to find 210, really. So we just got to find 210.
55's right there.
Okay, so oh wait, if that's 55, we just got to, if we take that one direction or the other, it's going to take us to 210.
Well, it's just, I want to just go through the back.
Okay, I'm good.
I don't know where we're at, but we can get home probably.
I got GPS. We'll make it. dock. Nice little lake here. Man, it's I'm not used to it getting this damn hot this early in the year. So I moved down here last August, at the end of August, start of September. I mean, man, we were already seeing 90-degree days in April, you know, early April. It's getting towards the end of May now, Memorial Day weekend. Fuck, it's been 95 degrees like 2 days in a row. Just don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining, because I also total snowfall down here last year was a quarter of an inch, so that's good for riding a bike. Sorry if the audio sucks, I'm trying to get a little bit more wind. It's a nice, warm, toasty day. What is up, guys? They cut off the, after the first half of our ride there. It's a bit too slow for my pace. Good guy. I'm glad he came out to ride. It'll be a lot funner as he gets more experience, but there just wasn't enough action for me. I took the lead once and, you know, just told him where we were going. I said, I'll meet you at the next stop sign. It burned through some corners, and that was a blast. So, on my way back home, had a nice couple hours of riding in, which is always fun. Man, all the like major roads leading up to his house all had this fucking loose gravel, and there was like no road into his house that got you around it, so you had no choice but to drive on loose gravel, which just sucks. It's kind of nerve-wracking. I just kind of drug one of my feet and hope for the best. That's all you can do, right? The day's winding down. Not about you fellas. Memorial Day weekend, I'm in the mood for a good beer and a good steak or a good burger or something. So I might go home, grill me some food, and chill out for the night. So thanks again for watching. Again, I hope the video audio is getting a little bit better quality. Please subscribe, like, feel free to comment. Love to chat with you guys. Take it easy.